Are you still waking up every day overwhelmed and confused about everything you have to do in 24 hours? Are bills and receipts piling up with nowhere to go? Don't you wish there was a better way to organize and plan your life without feeling you're being pulled in a million different directions? Me too. I'm Asia Dang, and today in this video, I am sharing with you how I organize my professional, personal, and financial life all without crying and having a breakdown in the middle of the week. If you want to see more organization lifestyle videos, please like, share, and subscribe and comment to let me know. And let's just get right into the video because we don't have time to waste. So for family life, Brian and I never really had to schedule out our time before, but now that we live in our loft, it makes it a little bit more difficult because we work in the exact same place. We work and play in the exact same area. So this is where, let me show you, this is Brian's dancing area. This is also where I shoot. That's my, can you see it? That's my desk area. That's Brian's desk area. And because now I'm shooting right now in my space, Brian is forced to choreograph there. So because we work in the same place, we've had to learn to organize and communicate a little bit better so we're not fighting over each other for work time. And because of that, we have developed our own little system of whiteboards. So Brian, bless his soul, bought this dry erase board, and while we stand a man who takes initiative, I was actually first annoyed that it was blank, but you know me, I love a good layout. So it gave me the opportunity to build my own dry erase board to perfectly fit our family. This is the newest system in my life organizational tool, and it actually took me longer and was a little bit more difficult than I originally thought it was going to be, but at the end of the day, I love it. So if you're trying to build something to help your family get better organized, first you need to think about what your needs are. For us, we need a space to write when I need to shoot or when Brian needs to choreograph, so that's in the form of a monthly overview calendar and then a weekly layout. And then we also need a to-do and shopping list because I'm notorious for doing things the family needs myself. So writing it down will let Brian know what needs to get done and we can start sharing those responsibilities. But this is a really quick and easy homemade calendar to avoid any unnecessary arguments about work or chores. So work-life responsibilities are normally at the root of my emotional breakdowns just because I have a lot to do and balance, and I used to just do it all by myself. But through Notion and time batching in my MSTRPLN planner, I think I finally found a system that works for me and allows me to breathe. So let's start off with Notion because this is kind of where everything starts from. So if you haven't heard about Notion, you know, where have you been? It is all over YouTube. Notion is a workspace where you can take notes, manage tasks, set goals, and the cool thing is it's great on its own or as a tool for team collaboration. I was first introduced to Notion last year, I believe early 2020, with a video editor that I was working with because she used Notion as a tool to track our work together. And it looks kind of intimidating, and I didn't actually deep dive into it until earlier this year because I was just kind of like so scared about it because there's just so many customizable tools available that it can seem, you know, very overwhelming. But once you figure out kind of what exactly you need Notion for, and then two, the best way you like to visualize tasks and needs, I think it's an awesome organizational tool and I would highly recommend it. There are a lot of how-tos, templates, one-on-one videos about Notion on YouTube. So if this video kind of like it psychs you, I would highly recommend kind of doing a deep dive onto Notion tutorials on YouTube. For this video though, I'm just kind of gonna go over how I set up my Notion and how it helps me be more productive not only as myself, but also with my team. So you go to notion.so, which is, you know, so trendy. And this is what Asia's Notion looks like. So in the corner, I have all the Notion communities that I am a part of. Here's my Notion. You can see there are my two favorites, the ones that I use the most. I have my master plans, plan, page, and then I have my YouTube schedule page. And just having everything I need to do every single day in my life, just all in one place, easy to access, easy to adjust, just has actually been a crazy, crazy lifesaver. These are also pages that I share with different people who need to have access to them. So the master plans plan, my manager has access to it, and then my graphic designer has access to it, and then my YouTube schedule, my manager, and then my graphic designer for thumbnails have access to it. Just so we kind of like are on the same page, we're on the same schedule, we can visualize and see what needs to be done, what we have to do, and all that stuff. Let's just kind of go into the master plans plan page. I built this and I'm very proud of it. And this is all things related to master plan. And as you can see, there is a lot, especially as a small business owner of like 2 different businesses, myself and master plan. It's hard to keep track of everything that you have to do. So having everything in Notion has been super, super helpful. So the first thing we see in my master plans plan Notion page is my must-do section. And these are the things that have to be done like immediately. As you may know, we're launching the academic planner next month, and then the undated planner relaunch in July. So these are kind of just the things that have to be done this year. After that, we have the dated planner launch early November. I have my website. I'm just like, things that I want to see and fix and add to the website, I have a Notion for that. And then I have social ideas that I want to do, and just like other things that I want to do, get done before the end of the year. And then as we go down the page, it is less important things, but things that still need to be seen every day. So other planner ideas, add-ons like gifts and stickers and free products to give people who purchase the planner, collaborations. So this is the academic planner launch. As you can see, we have to-dos, we have things that we need to fix and change, and then ideas for free add-ons. And again, everything is all in one place. And if I wanted to, again, there's so many great formats that you can add. So you would just click this plus button, and if you wanted to add text or a page or a to-do list, you can do that. You can also add like dividers, and you can, like if I wanted to mention Emma, who is the graphic designer for Master Plan, I can take her. And then I can also just completely change the layouts and how you see things differently. So that's why I think it's important for you to kind of like play around with Notion and see what kind of layout works best for you. I like things very simple. Too many graphs and too many lines, to me, gets a little confusing. So I just like to do basic, lists essentially. Then you can also add images or videos and audio, all of that stuff. So there's a lot of ways to customize your Notion, which I really love. And then again, I'm able to share this with other members of my team. So Emma will always and forever have access to the page because she needs to know what needs to be done. And then Emma actually created her own workspace under miscellaneous, where it's a calendar layout, so it works best for her, and she can write down her hours and then due dates. And then we can both see how often she's working and make sure that our deadlines line up and everything, so that's really great. So that's my master plans plan, but let me show you my YouTube schedule, because this looks one way because it's just like how I best organize it, but my YouTube schedule is significantly different in look and also in purpose. So let's go ahead and click that, and here is my YouTube schedule. Now before, I always used to want to be able to like pre-plan content, but it just seemed kind of impossible for me because I would always change my mind and cross things out, and it just didn't really work. But now that I have a tentative YouTube schedule in Notion, I'm able to make adjustments super quickly. So we have on the left-hand side video idea names, and then we have the status. So you can see everything above is live now, and then my Sunday routine, I need to edit today, how I plan and organize my life without crying, I'm shooting right now, and then so on and so forth. So I have been changing around my ideas for video content forever. So like this road trip travel vlog was supposed to be up in like last month actually, but to be honest, we didn't have that great of a time, so I didn't really want to post that video. So that has been since dragged all the way at the end in case I change my mind. So there we are. So that just makes things easier. And then I have the tentative upload dates again. These are really easy to change. And this is important because even though I normally like to post videos on Thursdays, sometimes depending on like if it's a budget video, I might want to upload it on a Tuesday where it's closer to the beginning of the month. And then also that allows Elaine to see when she needs to have thumbnails sent to me by. So that's really helpful. So if we go into one of these pages, you can actually see I have my scripts written out. I have ideas for, let's see, notes that I wanna, I have ideas for thumbnail inspo. So Sophia will always and forever be an inspiration for thumbnails because they're so cute. And then I have social ideas. So when I post a video, I like to also post some kind of social. So that way this reminds me to do that. And then when I get my life together, I can also pre-write descriptions and tags. This is actually a template I built as well. So you can just build a lot of things in Notion that'll just help you be more productive. So there is that. And then let's just quickly go into like my private pages. This is the real ideas. Again, I have one for master plan, and then below I have one for personal. And these are just like ideas that I have. I can link to music that I find that I want to use. I can link to other videos like this one. I think would be funny if it's like, you know, something about a paycheck or something. That's just, you know, that. And then as you can see, I can click them as being done when I do get them done, which clearly I haven't done a lot of things on my list, but to just know that it is there is helpful. And then I have my personal again, which doesn't really have too much on it. So that is my Notion layout. If you want to try it out and play around with it, please do sign up using the link in my description box. And again, I have to say, I've watched a lot of Notion videos on YouTube, and everyone that I've watched has used Notion differently. Their layouts are different. And yeah, I would suggest kind of just like, if this video has inspired you to check out Notion, to like just again go down that Notion rabbit hole on YouTube, because there's so many ways, different ways to use Notion that I know once you figure out how you want to use Notion, it's like a game changer, okay? Okay, so with the family whiteboard and my Notion pages all in order, now it's time for me to schedule out my week with my master plan planner. The first two are important because I have found that time batching has really worked for me personally. So I need to know when I can shoot or when I can do things, and then also what I have to do for work before I can time batch in my planner. Time batching is not to be confused with time blocking. Those are two different things. Time blocking is setting aside a specific amount of time in your calendar to do specific things, whereas time batching is clumping together similar tasks. You do the same kind of task all at once instead of spreading it out over the course of a week. People really love time blocking. I see it all over YouTube, and there are people who absolutely swear by it, but in all honesty, it's something that I hate. It does not work for me. I think I'm too like airy and free-spirited and flexible in order for time blocking to work really well for me. I feel like I'm being punished or like banished to the basement for doing a specific thing at a certain time for a certain time, and I just don't really love it. In fact, it gives me more anxiety than it like releases, so it's just not for me. So I have found that time batching is a little bit more my speed and allows my days to go a little bit more smoother. So what I would normally do is like go over to the calendar, see what has to be done or what is going to be done over the week, and then I compare that to my Notion, my YouTube schedule, and then the master plan schedule. So for instance, if Brian is shooting out of the house that day, I will fully utilize being able to shoot YouTube videos that day because it'll be nice and quiet. Or if he's having people over to a choreograph, then I'll do something that doesn't need audio, like photos or maybe like a reel or like editing. That way I can still work, but he can still have the space. And I like to base my time batching schedule off of Brian's schedule because mine is a little bit more flexible. Sometimes he has to kind of coordinate with multiple people to work. And since I mostly just work
by myself in the home, I have more flexibility to do so as long as I am not on like a really strict deadline. But the moral of the story for me is time batching is key. What I used to do is if I wanted to shoot a YouTube video one day, then I would also do like the thumbnail photo, and I would do like a reel or a TikTok to go with the video upload. And it seemed in theory like it would be easier, but in fact it was a little bit more stressful because setting up a camera for YouTube is a little bit more intensive with the lighting, and the makeup has to be better than what it might be on Reels or TikTok. And it's just a lot more goes into it. So I would have to set everything up, break everything down, clean everything for pictures, figure out a thing that I wanted to do for Reels or Instagram or something. And it was just too much going on. What I do now is compare all of my schedules, my Notion, the family whiteboard against any like appointments or anything I already have preset into my planner. And then depending on, you know, when I have time to shoot a YouTube video per se, I will completely schedule out maybe doing 1 or 2 videos that day, and that is it. That is the only thing that I commit myself to doing that day. Or let's say on another day, I want to, this looks like a crazy setup, but I want to do a reel. So the night before, I'll plan maybe 2 or 3 reel or TikTok ideas and shoot them all in one day, and then ideally edit them or like edit them in the app that day, but sometimes that doesn't work. But that way, again, I'm doing like similar tasks all in one day. And then anytime again that I might not have audio available to me to film is when I'll do work on master plan or edit videos or anything in my phone. So that's kind of how I set up my personal and professional life in my own personal planner as it relates to what's on my Notion and then the white family board. It might seem like a lot, but ultimately my planner is where all the pre-planning from Notion and the family board come together. And if there's any other to-do lists, I'll write them in my to-do section under my planner. Keeping track of my finances is probably one of the easiest things I do all week because it has a set day every Sunday. If you haven't seen my Sunday routine video, check it out because out of all of the days of the week, Sundays are my most consistent. Every Sunday, I look through my bank statements and receipts and add them to my weekly expense tracker in my master plan planner. And if it's the last Sunday of the month, I'll go over my monthly budget, see how I did on my budget, plan next month's monthly budget, and then build my monthly calendar. It's a lot, but being consistent with tracking your budget helps you stay on track financially, and you will always know where you stand with your financial goals. So pick a day to do your most unfun task, and if it's something that you will incorporate into your day versus like just doing a horrible chore, then you'll more likely stick with it, which will only improve your financial health. All right, everyone, those are the ways that I organize my life. I hope you found inspiration and maybe some really cool ideas to incorporate into your routine to make your life a little bit less stressful. I'm Asia Dang. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please like, share, and subscribe if you like this video, and we will see you next time. Bye.